welcome back to my channel. If you watched my previous story, my previous video, this video will make a lot more sense. So we all have that one friend who's kind of like helped us through like a lot. And I want to, this is kind of an open letter to my friend from primary school, Alexandra. And I'm hoping maybe someday she sees this and we get to reconnect, because I have lost, connection, especially without social media and the fact that we were so much younger and all that sort of stuff. So I'm hoping she sees this and we get to reconnect and that sort of thing. So I didn't really write anything because, yeah, that's not how I roll. So I'm just gonna wing it and hopefully it won't be too long. Dear Alexandra, you have no idea how much you helped me when, we were in Cheltenham Primary and I had a really tough time in a new country, in a new school, and you decided to share your toys with me because I didn't have any, and Pokemon was all the rage then, and you used to bring your little figurines and you would always let me play with Pikachu because Pikachu was my favorite. And I don't know, you were just so giving, you were just so kind. And it's not like you didn't have other friends, I mean you did, but you always chose to play with me in the sandpit, and if the others didn't include me, then you would just play with only me. So it was either kind of she's in or I'm out. And I mean, I didn't really have any of that until we became friends. And I don't know, I mean, you helped me through so much because I needed just that one person. I mean, I used to come home and I used to cry and I used to just, draw my feelings out, and I never wanted to go to school. And it was just an endless cycle, and I didn't really have anyone to talk to about it because, I mean, I couldn't talk to my parents because they were going through their own thing, and like my dad didn't know any English and he was learning English, and my mom was going through a whole lot of like crazy things. And so it was just, and I had my brothers, but let's be honest, we didn't really get along then as, kids, siblings never did at that age. But then when you showed up and you were there for me, I was so happy. You were like, I don't even know, I mean, you were just like a godsend, basically. You were that person who was there to show me that yes, there are still good people in the world, and even at 7 years old or 8 years old, I think I was like 8 or something, 8.5, you were there and you were just ready to help me out. You were just always there for me. And I mean, whenever you weren't at school or you were absent, it was basically the most miserable day. And I remember we had to have hats, and if you didn't wear a hat, it was a rule that you went into the shelter shed. And nobody wanted to go into the shelter shed because it was just a little place, and it looked like a prison. It was literally, I think you remember, it was made of concrete, and the doors were like wired chain link fence like doors at gates, and no one wanted to be in there. And sometimes whenever I forgot my hat and you had yours, you would just bring the toys in and you would just play with me in the shelter shed. And I mean, those little things that at that time you wouldn't really think much of it, and I didn't really think, I thought a lot of it then, but I didn't think it would carry on to today, that it would have such a big impact in my life. And I'm only discovering this as I'm going back looking at my story and, writing things down and reading through it, and you've just made such a huge impact in my childhood. And I think if you weren't a part of it, it would have been very different. Things would have turned out differently. I might not have had that one savior. So who knows how drastically things could have changed for me. Because, I don't know, with you being there for me and the way you were, it may not have been a big deal to you, but it was a huge deal to me. And I mean, you would even invite me to your home, and even though at that time, because my parents were scared and they didn't let me come because they didn't really know the environment yet, and even though, I used to be so upset, I used to be like, yeah, but she invited me, just those small things made a huge difference, because it felt like she actually wanted my company. And it wasn't just, she wants to play with my toys or whatever, because I had none. And for me, it wasn't even about the toys. Even if you didn't have any toys, I really wouldn't care. It was just, I wanted someone who could see me for me, and someone who would include me regardless of whether I had a lot or a little, because a lot of the times, the other girls would either include you or not based on what you had. And I've seen it actually, because a lot of the times, even people, even girls, I mean, it's very common in kids where you be their friend one day and then not the next. And it was very much like that. So I would see, one of the girls who used to play with them, who wouldn't the next day because she didn't have her toy or whatever it is they're playing with. And so you never excluded me that quickly and easily. You never excluded me at all. And I don't know, I've really been thinking about finding you and connecting with you. And if you see this someday, I just want to give you a sincere thank you, and hopefully in person. So we're in grade 3 together in 1999 at Cheltenham Primary School. And I don't know if I should, give her last name. I do want to find her, but I don't know how that works with all the privacy rules and everything. So I don't want to expose her like this, but I would really like to find her. It would mean the world to me, really. If you connected with this video, please like, share and subscribe. And if you want to share your own story, which I would absolutely love to hear, comment down below. It can be one of those short comments, or even write me a whole thing. It doesn't matter.